they did acquiesce. And so KT now over onto red. We'll see what they're going to be snagging as their first option. The Karma has now been used up, and Fearless dictates that we might have some different bans to come on through, although I imagine Gen.G probably still pretty okay with taking away a bunch of mid laners to make sure that BDD has the most difficult time. However, he did just have a pretty amazing Zoe game.
Yeah, they banned all those mid laners. He picked Zoe. He carried and stole Baron. So
11 HP, by the way. Having a look at the highlights there. Oh,
and like
goodness.
100% credit to BDD for that. But also, when there's no other jungler, that shouldn't happen.
Yeah. The smite that you steal as Zoe is not quite as strong.
I did just do some quick looking up. I haven't fully cross-referenced this, but they did lose their first match of the season in 2020 summer. So it might have been that long, because their records are like insane every time since then. I checked some of the other ones. That might have been the last time they lost their first match.
Did they play the opening match against DK that year?
It was actually against DRX.
Huh. Well, there you go. DRX in 2020 were a pretty different looking team, though, if I remember correctly.
But that, again, I haven't fully checked it out, but from what I looked at briefly, that might have been the last time. If they lose today, if they're one game away from it, if they lose today, it might have been 6 years since they last dropped the first game of the season.
All right, but I've got another side of it, right?
Okay.
If they lose today, right, every single time where they've won over the last 6 years, they lost Worlds.
Wow.
So maybe starting off with a loss could help. I have no idea. Let's just have a look at how this one is going to go. We might get our first 3-game series of the season.
Pantheon Open, Ryze Open, Azir Open.
Azir Open. And the Ryze is going to be snapped up immediately here from BDD.
Yep, so no, Azir has been picked in every series that he's been allowed to be picked and been open.
Pantheon
hasn't won a game yet. Pantheon, very good. We're big Pantheon fans. So Pantheon has won every game so far.
I wonder what this means for Cuzz, because there's quite a few junglers that are now sort of taken away, what with Fearless and with that Jarvan ban.
Also, the fact that they got the Anivia ban, which is now like the double impact, because you can't play the Anivia mid, but also Anivia support's been a problem.
Yes.
Sometimes for the team playing it, sometimes for the other team.
Yeah, it wasn't a problem for KT. Let's just say that.
Yeah, but the sort of double impact of that ban, there is still the Cassiopeia as an option for Chovy, but we've seen that counter be kind of not always the most impactful. Looks like Cuzz is eyeing up the Wukong, although actually they're going to grab the Sivir first and foremost. So we've seen so often Sivir into Varus. You can match the wave clear. You can just spell shield the poke. Really stable lane. Also pretty good in the Pantheon in general. If you can dodge any part of his combo, whether it's a stun or a big spear when you're low HP, can make a big difference.
Ooh, Effort Bard. It's been a while, but Effort has been playing Bard for a very long time. This is one of the champs that he quite liked back in the day.
So not securing a jungler in this rotation for KT. I guess maybe thinking, look, we don't get Pantheon. We're fine. There's a lot of junglers still open. There is still like the...
Do you know what I really appreciate? I'd already written down Vi, but then they picked Sivir.
Yeah.
And Sivir has Vi in her name, so it was very easy to adjust.
I mean, there's Vi open, there's Wukong open. There's still options available that they can lean on.
And Cuzz has a pretty wide champion pool as well. I think he's happy to play a whole bunch of different things. His Mundo is something that he's always really enjoyed. There's a lot of bans that they're going to have to throw out if they really want to make sure that Cuzz isn't comfortable in this game.
So we get the Azir-Ryze matchup. Honestly, something we haven't actually seen that much. Both picks have been very popular, but not really facing off against each other.
Yeah, I do feel like this should be an okay matchup for the Azir, just due to the range advantage that you would have. But Ryze is Ryze, right? Like, he just is really strong. And you can just wander to other lanes and get advantages that way. As the Alistar going to be banned away here as well. Not allowing Duro to have the cow. Although I don't know whether you'd really want to play Alistar into Sivir Bard.
Yeah, maybe Neeko comes through as a ban as well. Could be something they look towards. Obviously, you can match the range a good amount. And also has that engage potential. Ambessa, we saw some Ryze Ambessa, obviously the point-and-click CC to set up the public execution. But also, it functions as a flex. But probably expecting it in the jungle. Does mean that Wukong that was hovered earlier is still potentially available if they want to get their hands on it.
Yeah, we'll see whether that is going to be a choice. It feels a little bit like a slow starter here for KT.
Yeah, especially Wukong into Pantheon. Pantheon can do so much early.
Well, Rakan going to be taken away here, denying a fair bit of engage, KT. That seems to be what they're worried about. But that Neeko that you were talking about, still up and available if they would like to go that direction, would give them a fair bit of control in the lane as well. Wouldn't mind seeing it out of Duro. And they are going to at least hover it for now, and there is the lock.
Yeah, so Neeko did get that nerf that meant her W cooldown starts when her clone expires. So definitely was a bit of a hit, but still so much threat. Can build Rocket Bell and should build Rocket Bell. I think that's the key thing we're hitting on.
Effort, that's not Nasus. Wait, effort. What? Where's the... Come on. Oh my good, he didn't hover Nasus. Wow. He hovered Teemo instead?
What is the world coming to?
I have no idea. I don't even know what it means. So I'm trying to decipher it.
Cuzz going for the Aatrox, a pick that we were talking about slow starters, not the best early ganker, and also playing into the likes of Varus, Azir.
That's a Jhin. Kiin's playing Varus top.
Into
they have been infected
Renekton
by the LEC.
Yeah.
They're like, the LEC is the best right now. What have they been doing? What is some of the tech that they've been up to?
This is honestly a pretty smart flex because you got to shift the Varus away from the Sivir matchup where, Sivir's picked into Varus as a neutralizer. There should be a better time for the Jhin Neeko. It's a pretty good matchup for them. I mean, the Sivir's, it's not going to be terrible, but you also get a range top into Renekton. This is not going to be a fun matchup for Perfect. And it's crazy that this is a time where I'm saying you need to keep Perfect down, but based on how he's been playing, yeah, you need to keep Perfect down.
I would agree.
You need to keep him down. He's been popping off.
You are picking Jhin into Bard. Doesn't feel fantastic due to the curtain call interaction with the Tempered Fate.
Yeah, the one thing I will say, though, is there's not a ton of engage on the side of KT. So if you're using
Their engage is sprint at you.
Yeah, and then if you're using the bottle to stop the Jhin.
It's so good, actually.
If you're using the bottle to stop the Jhin, then you're not using it to engage. And
yeah, that's a good point.
You kind of have a bit more limited tools in terms of that. So
you're also not using it to disengage as well. I feel like the Bard ultimate is what separates good Bard players from the great ones. And it's when you are able to utilize it. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get onto the Rift for game number 2. My goodness, that was an ear-splitting KT.
I had to hold my thought for the fan chance.
Okay.
But I do have to disagree with you a little bit. You said what separates the good bards from the bad bards is the ultimate.
The great
bards, sorry, is the ultimate. I've watched a lot of Carrier. I've actually learned what separates the good from the great bards is how many sick Q flashes you can do in a game.
That's a good point.
That's what it's about.
I apologize. We had a bit of a break. Just obviously I'm slipping. All right, Gen.G taking a little bit of damage here as the ricochets are flying on forward. As Perfect, I think, is going to spend a lot of time lurking in the reeds. I know it's a brush, but he's a crocodile. That's what they want to do.
Hey, that's a good place for him. He can just farm up the experience and not interact at all.
All right, Cuzz
is going for an early invade. Question mark.
Well, Canyon is just going to run away from his Grump. Got the info that this was happening on that ward next to the Raptors, and so Cuzz just going to walk on in after taking his red. Does give him a lot of extra combat power, and so therefore going to be just given the Grump.
Yeah, I think Canyon honestly, Cuzz is a jungler who really likes to push and challenge and take these sort of windows where he sees an opportunity to invade and to mix things up. But I think Canyon is also just so good at reacting.
Yeah.
Quickly responding and just not missing a beat to move away. It is still an advantage for Cuzz, don't get me wrong. But Canyon doesn't lose any more time than he has to.
Yeah, mitigating downsides has been something that he's been very good at throughout his career. All right, Perfect. Now time to finally pick up some farm. As Kiin is going to make it as difficult as possible. First plate will be going over to the Varus already. And that is precisely what you want to be doing here in this matchup. Perfect does at least get himself the cannon. Is now BDD running towards Chovy. Flash quite early on in that exchange. really feeling the pressure.
Has just been something else. He had that matchup into Faker where he was playing Ryze and the Orianna and he just dominated. So, I mean, Ryze is such a strong pick. Everyone has been popping off on Ryze, but BDD in particular seems like such a problem if he gets his hands on this pick, particularly just in lane. We all know Ryze is going to get Actualizer and just start one-shotting people, but if he's winning lane as well, he gets to that point a lot sooner.
True. And Kiin going to press W and push Perfect out of the lane. At least he did manage to get a few CS, but you can see the Crocodile is having a tough time. Cuzz at full health here. Going to be spotted by Canyon, but I don't know whether the Pantheon is going to be happy taking this particular battle, and he is just going to walk away from the Rift Scuttler. There is another one towards the southern side of the map, and so he should be able to just go over and collect that one. You can see pings out from Cuzz, knows that that's where he's heading, and Effort is actually going to look on trying to disrupt what's going on here. Baylight does come on through. All right. I do really like the Bard sounds. How do you feel about the Bard sounds?
I like the Bard sounds.
I'm a big fan. All right, Kiin down quite low. Doesn't have teleport, remember. Won't have that until the quest is completed and does have to use the flash to get out of the way. So it's going to take a while, although I guess home guard and stuff like that should.
The wave's just not in a good spot, though, for him. Basically, what happened is Kiin started to move towards the river to try and help the Scuttle Crab, and Perfect managed to catch the wave and hold it in that uncomfortable spot. And now Kiin being down the flash, especially because BDD is going to hit 6 in not too much time. I know why I'd be realm warping.
Absolutely. This is the first top Varus that we've had here in the LCK. Obviously, around the world, it has been a little bit more popular.
We've been protected from it, which I've been happy about.
Kiin, though, trying to get some redemption from the last time he played an AD carry in the top lane, though. Let's see whether they can find some success. So far, it is working out quite well, outside of the fact that he did have to blow that flash relatively early. He should still have a lot of control in this lane to really frustrate Perfect, who has elected to go towards a early Merc Treads by the looks of things. Doesn't want to get CC'd too much. And it's kind of awkward just buying items into an on-hit Varus just because he does so much of all of the different damage. I guess now it's more magic with the way the build has evolved.
Yeah.
But it's just really annoying.
Well, it's kind of like that thing where early on, even if you're going, you know, the more magic-based build, it's like Kennen when Kennen goes Doran's Blade in lane. And it's like, yeah, he's doing a good amount of magic damage, but also you're getting hit by a lot of physical.
Yeah, he just hits me over and over again.
Yeah, and then if anything, you're getting hit by more physical from the Varus because his Q and his E, even though he's not maxing those, still do a good amount.
Slice and dice, and Perfect is going to throw down the Dominus. Stun does come on through there as the exhaust is now being used up. Let's see whether he can hold on to this position. Gets that Fury back, but the Cold Meat comes through, and Cuzz just here a little bit too late. That is first blood and a solo kill for Kiin. He doesn't have the flash available though, so he will be going down, and Cuzz is going to lock up that one. So KT immediately answering back, but still a great kill here for Kiin, who really wants to stay ahead in this lane.
This is the frustrating thing about playing into this Varus, because you would think, right, no flash, Renekton gets on top of him, but he has exhaust, right? And the power of the ultimate, just the stacking of the Blight doing so much damage, lethal tempo as well in the extended trade.
Oh, Canyon paying BDD a visit here, who does just put Chovy in prison and then wander away. Phase Rush working out quite nicely here, as he should be able to run back towards the mid lane as well. Cosmic Binding utilizing the Scuttle Crab. Very cute there from Effort.
Remember they nerfed Phase Rush? No, me neither.
Effort doesn't have Magical Journey anymore, as now Duro looking for the angle flash from Effort to get him out of that one. That snare could have proved his death, especially if the Blooming Burst was up and available. So does have to use everything in order to escape. All right.
Yeah, so actually here, ends up getting the exhaust down and just buying so much time with it. And once lethal tempo is stacked up, Perfect just kind of runs out of damage and flashes in a straight line is the unfortunate thing. So the piercing Q just kind of, you know, pierces both where he was and where he ends up.
Yeah.
A little bit panicked, I feel like, from Perfect there. If he'd flashed a bit better.
Yeah, could have also like done the weird flash up into the other brush for the juke.
I think that's
could have been a cute play.
Oh, he's very dead.
Yeah, he's if at first you don't succeed with just one person, bring all of your friends. And so BDD probably going to get gifted this kill as well, as Kiin almost able to take down Cuzz here.
Oh my.
If Cuzz had died there, it would have been catastrophic
That was
for KT.
so close. You know, you get a cooldown reset when you proc the Blight stack, so managed to get another rotation through. And such a close one, and especially consider the fact he didn't have flash, didn't have exhaust. That was just him and his ult. And also, I wanna point something out. Look at his items.
Yeah.
He didn't have the dagger, by the way. He had plated steel caps and
a Kindle gem.
No,
he just had a ruby crystal?
Yes.
Oh god.
That's all he needs.
Well, I'm a bit frightened for when he gets some real items. It's going to be problematic. Here, perfect.
I do like the use of the realm up, though. This is definitely what you should be doing. The flash is down. It's good timing. Taking
you can see it
when the flash was unavailable.
It didn't really cost BDD that much either. You can see he's still within touching distance of the CS margins. Chovy did get a plate in the mid lane, but that is about it. So we're going to have a look at it one more time. Cuzz and BDD making their way up into the top lane.
Yeah, the angle's just great to cut off Kiin, but also Duro is just not able to get there in time. So gets the ult down, piercing arrow with a bit of charge, and then because he pops the blight, he actually gets another piercing arrow.
Oh, man.
Very close, very dangerous.
Yeah, that Chains of Corruption can be a real problem to KT in this game, as Effort going to have to magically journey his way out. And Canyon over here starting us off for the first dragon of the game. Going to be a Chemtech once again, which is kind of interesting. Back-to-back, same first dragon.
Will it be Chemtech Ocean?
Could be. But we'll just have to see.
I like when we just get the look towards it. Oh no, we looked away.
And it
is! Oh, okay. So good souls, back to back.
This is like, you know, like there's all those weird things where people are saying like they bought Riftbound boxes and like all the boxes are the same. Like they bought one box and then the next box has the same cards in it in the same order. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, do you remember when someone was like, oh yeah, actually Chemtech souls are more common, and then it actually was.
Yeah, I mean it was because of you, Aux, as we know.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you have seen the error of your ways.
Not bad.
And we are now just getting Chemtech Drakes first every single time. I don't think anyone's really complaining. Chains of Corruption going to connect here on to Perfect. It takes just a little bit too much damage. As Kiin happy to tank up the turret just to get that extra auto off. And Perfect does have teleport, so he can make his way back here. But man, it is just not a whole lot of fun.
Look,
for the Renekton.
Some of you watching may feel sorry for Perfect. I want to remind you, he played Vayne top in his last series into Cassante, so no, don't feel any remorse.
Nope.
You know, as much as he's definitely not having a fun time and this matchup was horrible,
you're saying he deserves it.
Kind of. It's karma.
Yeah. Although she's fearless banned.
True.
Still.
He did also play Jace last game, so...
Do you think that Perfect is dead?
Do you think that's a normal minion?
It's behaving quite oddly. As Perfect slices, gets out of the way of the snare, but hail of arrows. I think the dominance wasn't entirely necessary, but I do like that he procced it anyway to make sure he didn't die. Speaking of dying, I think that Ruler might be in a bit of trouble here, although... What tries to flash out of the way of a turret shot here does Effort. Not entirely sure about that one, as now Cuzz with the World Ender procced. I don't know whether he's going to be dead just yet, but the curtain call comes in. He flashes into it. The deadly flourish, the flash from Canyon. Beautifully played. You've seen the player cam there as well. Pretty happy with how that one went, as now BDD in trouble. Realm Warp not going to work out here. And Duro going to turn up and help Chovy grab the kill. Gen.G just spring to life here at 11 minutes.
They just wake up. You know, on the cusp of Gen.G losing their 5th game in a row, which is honestly kind of unprecedented with the form that we've seen from them in the past few years. They come alive, and I will say, a little bit of help from Effort, who had a bit of an oopsie, but... I
want to say, Ruler played that so incredibly well.
Yeah, read the flash from Cuzz. Just beautifully played.
Just hitting everything. Speaking of which, Effort once again in a rough position, will be taken down. No reloading for this guy, just going to be landing that fourth shot, take out the Bard. And Effort not exactly having the greatest of times here in this game.
No, he is not. Struggling a little bit right now. 2,000 gold lead already for Gen.G. And we'll see a replay here. So, yeah, Effort's, he's tanking. It's like, okay, I'll flash the tower shot. Doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
Sad.
And then here, I think the main thing was when the ult comes out from Ruler. So it's this next shot. reads the flash so well.
Yeah, reads the flash and then hits max range Deadly Flourish.
뭐냐 이거?
Yeah, and I can imagine, I understand why Canyon was reacting like that. Emperor's Divide here in the mid lane as well, just to make sure that BDD was killed by Duro.
Yeah, Duro getting in range, making sure there was no way BDD could Realm Warp away from that one.
And pretty excellently played here in this little interim of time for Gen.G. KT certainly still have tools to win fights later on, and they're not massively far behind, but 2000, when you have this composition that can really run you over, if it does get out of hand, it is starting to get out of hand. And with a Pantheon, it's such a good win more champion, right? And it's Canyon playing it as well. We know that he can certainly pilot it to a victory.
It has just been winning, and I was wondering, you know, which is going to be more powerful? The fact that, you know, so far Pantheon's undefeated, Azir's only lost, seeming like the Pantheon more powerful.
At this point in time, that is absolutely what it's looking like. As Kiin here, still yet to complete a full item as of yet.
Yeah,
we'll be grabbing the Dusk and Dawn as he does go back home.
We'll get the super quick light stacks. This is the point where I think Perfect... No, I was going to say stops having fun. He was never having fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, when did he start? Oh, last game. Yeah, he was having fun.
I think retrospectively, right now, he's going to look back at the earlier points in lane and wish he was at them. He didn't realize those were actually the good times.
Yep.
Now it's the really bad times. Now it's like, oh man, take me back.
Yeah. Well, KT just hanging out here in this mid lane. 800 gold is the advantage here for Ruler. In fact, Gen.G with leads all over the place. But it's his top lane that is the largest one. Kiin really making it work as Deadly Flourish onto Cuzz. Does get a bunch of his health back, and that's a decent Pop Blossom. Duro likely to get punished for it, but Cuzz is already dead, and never mind, Duro survives. Aiming is now just in no man's land as the double kill comes in for Canyon, and Perfect just running away from the situation.
And I think that was the right call from Perfect, but Gen.G just crushed KT in the fight. But he felt like there wasn't much resistance, and now 4,000 gold lead. They get their second dragon. Should be a very strong soul. Pretty much guaranteed.
Yep. BDD upgrades some shoes as he completes the quest, but Gen.G with all of those completed. The fact that BDD was so slow on that is kind of interesting. I guess spent a fair bit of time roaming. As we're going to have a look at this one more time. So and Cuzz just kind of missing all the cues.
Yeah, they target him. The ult from the Bard comes in, but doesn't stop Duro. Cuzz is down immediately, and they just turn on the aiming. Spell shield doesn't come out. I think he just didn't expect Canyon to jump in. I think he was expecting him to go through the portal.
Wait,
based in his position.
Kiin doesn't need help. Duro, this is mean. It's all right. Effort going to be roaming up here as the magical journey brings him over. Kiin's underneath the turret. Not sure about that one, but Canyon turns up and down goes the crocodile. Effort is just dead, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be another one over to the jungler. 4-0-2 now for Canyon. Feeling fantastic on the Pantheon.
Well, I think Kiin appreciated the help. I think that's what we can definitely say about that one. Aiming, I was going to say dodges all the shots. He doesn't, notably. Tank's the most important one in the end, and now has to back off.
Somewhat suboptimal.
Canyon will just on the traps.
My goodness, yeah. BDD just looks like he was trying to dodge a Gangplank ultimate there momentarily. Does manage to do so, but Chovy is just hanging out here in this bottom lane. He's been pretty quiet so far this game, and will be racking up a bunch of extra money. Let's have a look at this one more time.
Yeah, he's like, I'll just kill the tower. Guys, help me kill the tower quickly.
Yeah,
I'm tanking tower. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good.
And they did also help him kill the crocodile.
Yeah, Kiin's been having some tower-related mishaps this series. So,
yeah.
That's been his main opponent, we'll say. Well, Perfect too, but...
Effort's main opponent has been basically everything here in this game, as Kiin is going to show up and demonstrate exactly my point. Oh dear. The Bard has not really been working out. 0-4-0 right now. As Chovy is on an inner turret, Slice and Dice gets Perfect in amongst it, as aiming turns up as well. And the Emperor's Divide will just mean that he gets away with no real worries at all.
He can just slide out, and you know, KT put a lot of effort towards trying to make these picks happen.
See what you did there.
Just not... Oh...
All right, let's see whether they can actually get themselves a kill onto Kiin. He flashes to get himself out of the way, but he actually wants to stay in the fight as he takes down Cuzz. Perfect goes in, and out he will go via the Death Chamber. Ruler just puts a 4th bullet into him, and KT just cannot find anything that works in this game.
It's just not happening. And honestly, I was going to say, right, they have a lot of wave clear, they can stall the game out. At this point, do you even want to? Maybe you just...
Yeah.
Maybe the wave clear is working against them. You want to go to game 3 a bit sooner rather than later because they are struggling.
They want more time to theorycraft what they want to do in the next game. As Curtain Call going to be thrown out here, and aiming does not have Spell Shield. Let's see whether that 4 shot's going to land. Effort going to tank it up.
You know what? I think one thing we always complain about is how big Bard's hitbox is. Really chunky. It definitely helped out there, making sure.
Certainly did. Honestly, he's been hit by a lot of things so far this game. He's really been making use of that large hitbox.
Yeah, happens again here. Gets hit by the root, and then he's like, "Oh, guys, I'm
gonna get out to save." Damn it.
He only got 100 gold for that. So you know, at this point,
high value.
Was it worth
Should have taken a cannon. Oh god. Well, Kiin gonna be able to get that snipe off there as well. And yeah, perfect. Just slug to the noggin, and will be taken out by Ruler. 305 for the Jhin. And Chovy with the dash cannon. He certainly was one of the first people to just build dash cannon on absolutely everyone.
He's the one who's propagated it, you know. Yeah. He was the Rod of Ages propagator. Now he's selling Rocket Belt to everyone.
It's not. What's a Rocket Belt? It's a dash cannon.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize.
I know that's what it's actually called, but dash cannon just feels fun to say.
Yeah.
Even though it's wrong, I'm going to keep doing it.
It's sometimes wrong to build it.
Yep, it's kind of my brand, saying things wrong. As a commentator, probably not a great thing for your brand, but I'm going to stick with it anyway. As Cuzz finding some Qs here, but he's also going to find a whole bunch of damage. Tempered Fate going to connect onto only Chovy. That just buys him a little bit of time as KT are forced to back away. BDD rotating over, but he's on vision. So is Perfect, in fact, as there are just traps everywhere that he needs to deal with. And Chovy is going to find his Shuriman Brethren. Deals with that shield immediately. BDD is going to move over. Pop Blossom connects onto the Ryze, but now Duro could be in a little bit of trouble. That should be the trade back, but a 1-for-1 isn't necessarily working out here as aiming is delivered to safety with the Realm Orb. Has to flash as Ruler's bullets are magnetized. And Canyon going to throw out the ulti, but isn't going to be able to find the Sivir. As effort, backing there is not going to be safe. And Kiin is just taking turrets into the bottom lane.
Okay, the fight didn't work at all for KT, but honestly, the fact only one person died there, it could have been way, way worse.
True.
They are going to lose Dragon.
It's a 10,000 gold lead though, Aux.
Well, actually, it's only 9,700.
Oh, my
9,600.
Oh, wow, they're really coming back.
9,500. You're exaggerating.
I really was. I mean, you know, we gotta try and find some drama. You know, you gotta try and sell it some way.
I get it.
So yeah, KT really rocketing back into this game. As you can see, 9.4K. As I was talking about it before, it's like 300 gold swing. Ludicrous work here from KT to get back into this one. 13-3 though is the kill score. 3 Drakes is the big deal. And Kiin winning on an AD carry in the top lane is another one, as he wants to get that monkey off his back. As Perfect looking to try and hit anyone with a button, and also, it's just really hard.
One of the problems with it being a Cloud Soul, KT's strategy of engaging, as you said earlier.
The run at them strategy?
Yeah, that's a bit harder to do when the enemy team runs faster.
All right, I got a counterpoint for you.
Hit me with it.
KT turn the game around. Stack
dragons.
four Cloud Drakes and win the game.
You know what? I like it.
Are you on board?
Actually, I love it.
Well, we'll just have to see whether they can make that happen, because that 10,000 gold lead that we were talking about is creeping up.
You keep saying 10,000. It's 9,800.
It's creeping up. It's going to potentially happen in the future, Aux. That's all I'm saying. In fact, possibly even like now-ish. As never mind, it's going down again. It's all just a little bit ping pong and minion waves at this point in time. We really do need to see something.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Okay.
Hit it. Yeah, 10,000.
See, what did I tell you?
Never mind. It's gone. Lost it.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I wasn't telling you. I wasn't telling you anything. Nothing at all. We are still really far away from a 10,000 gold lead. Ruler does have his item number 3. Rapid Fire Cannon has been completed. It's not my favorite Jhin build, but I don't have very many because I just don't really like Jhin.
Not the most convincing Jhin build, but there's this beautiful thing about Jhin builds I've learned.
What's that?
If you're really far ahead, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah. And also, like, your 4th item is obviously the most important because you're Jhin. As there's a flash in from Canyon. Aiming is really dead, ladies and gentlemen, and Duro is going to make sure that they can get even more. As Cuzz should be all right here with that World Ender up and available, but Effort is just going to have to run himself away. It is a back out here from BDD, who's been pretty quiet so far this game. He's now looking for an opportunity towards Kiin. But yeah, this Varus can kind of stand his ground and do a whole bunch of work if given the opportunity. As now Gen.G, there is a little ward there, so I think KT knows what's going on. As now Kiin running after BDD. Let's see whether this 1v1 will be won by the Ryze or by the Varus as he goes golden and BDD a flash out from Kiin and he outplays him.
That was so close, so clutch.
Well, we've got even more fights. Exactly right. Effort can have to magically journey his way out. Perfect. He's extraordinarily dead, but does take Canyon with him as Chovy gets on in there to take down Cuzz. Effort not long for the world either, as he needs another Conquering Sands and does not have it. As Effort will be able to escape. They take out the jungle, though. That might mean that KT, at least by, you know, a little bit of time. That aforementioned 10,000 gold lead, though, is creeping up towards 11. Hasn't hit 11 yet. I will be clear.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this 1v1. This was sick from Kiin.
Yeah, so it's, you know, BDD has Flash. Flash is the ult, which is a big factor in the 1v1 against Varus. Look how low Kiin gets immediately. Stasis is, and then has the empowered Q, flashes, and goes down to 5 HP.
Yeah, BDD, he wanted that one, but unfortunately did not happen. Let's have a look at this fight as well that broke out at exactly the same time. Man, Perfect took like infinite damage very, very quickly.
Yeah. I mean, they stopped the Baron, but they are very far behind in terms of gold. It is now 11,000.
Yeah.
There's Cloud Soul up in a minute 15. BDD is just hiding in brushes.
And Kiin is also level 16 now. 2 levels up over Perfect. Really has turned this Crocodile into a handbag as they are on this Baron once again. Controller does go over the backside of the pit, so Effort does see what's going on. But there's a difference between seeing it and stopping it. Cuzz in the area. They should be able to get rid of some vision. There is that handbag we were talking about. Perfect making his way up, and it looks like Gen.G will be backing away for now. And BDD is going to get turned on. Curtains have been called, but he gets into the fog of war and will be able to escape. 4th shot does come on down. 30 seconds on this Cloud Drake. That'll be Cloud Soul for Gen.G. And honestly, I mean, if it's not lights out already, that will be lights out for KT.
I think it's going to make it so much harder from that position. BDD is strong, by the way. He's level 16, has his core items, but
Perfect going to be okay. Is Effort going to be
Effort.
okay? No. Tempered Fate for fun, and he's dead.
Yeah, not the play we were looking for
You know that content that we saw? There was like, you were stuck on the other side during the content, and there was that one moment where you just had a whole bunch of question marks above your head.
Yes.
That's what my brain did.
Yeah.
Just then.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you guys want to know, it's on the LCK Global YouTube channel.
I don't think we need to see this again, but we're going to get to.
Why are we replaying this?
Yeah, that is exactly what happened before.
Yeah, that was it. That's what we were talking about. That means that Gen.G gets themselves the Cloud Soul.
You know what?
No.
He's putting the effort in, right? Better for him to go 1 and 5. Because if he goes 1 and 2, that means you stop trying.
True.
Right? He's still looking. He's still looking for his angle.
Yeah, we really are looking to the LEC for inspiration, aren't we?
Hey, we can't say anything bad about the LEC, right? They smoked us.
We can't. That's why a lot of research is now being done.
Yeah, we did his presentation.
What did.
We did do that.
All right. Gen.G going to have another go at this Baron. Worked out pretty well last time, although they didn't manage to actually take the buff. And let's see whether KT can do anything to stop it.
He doesn't quite have Actualizer, which is really sad, but he's still very strong. Oh, Cuzz.
Yep, Cuzz, Chains Corruption, and boom goes the dynamite here as Kiin will find him. Chovy the one to take down the kill, but now look at this AoE damage. My goodness, it's BDD on a flank angle, but I don't know whether it's really going to work out as Kiin just goes golden to avoid any trouble at all, and the Realm Warp does get BDD out of there, but the Baron goes over to Gen.G. It is all Gen.G all the time, is what it feels like here in this game number 2, as Perfect trying to get himself to safety, but Canyon just dives on top of him and throws a spear into the back of his head.
Does a lot of damage. And Gen.G, you know, it wasn't even like a full 5v5. There was like 2 or 3 people hitting KT while the rest of them did Baron. 14,000 out of gold lead. Cloudsoul in pocket, Baron in pocket. I think for the first time this season, we might be going to a game 3.
We might be. KT going to be losing their first game this season as well, which is kind of crazy. Effort going to go up to 6 deaths as well. I haven't seen many 6-death games so far this season. A lot of firsts have occurred in this particular series. Inhibitors going down, and Gen.G looking to stamp their name on this series and bring us to that deciding game number 3. Nexus turrets all that stands in their way, as KT gonna try and defend as best they can, but man, these wallets are so heavy. A 16, close to a 17,000 gold lead, Aux. I'll say it, I think it might get there, and there it is. At least they do manage to take down Kiin towards the end, but that is a bare Nexus, and they will be able to take that one down. As never mind, wasn't quite 17,000 in the end, but 16.8 is close enough, and that is the Gen.G that we remember here in the LCK Cup. Back again for the LCK for 2026. Better late than never, you have to say.